2, 1. No, I got it on mute. Can you still hear me, Charles?
I hear you.
Okay, good. Hey, Thomas Henry's there. Hey, Thomasino.
All right, welcome everybody. This is Charles coming to you live from Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes members page, and with me is my good pal, Mr. Dirk. What's up, Mr. Dirk?
Well, I'll tell you, other than the rent, nothing is up. Nothing I can talk about live. But,
Where did you get that line? That's a great line. You use it a lot. Nothing but the rent is going up. So
right.
welcome everybody. Hello everybody. This is Charles and Derek, and we're live right now coming to you from the Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes members page. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday, January 6th, 2020, and I want to wish you all a happy new year. It's been an exciting time over the past couple of weeks. Lots of work and lots of shopping and lots of hectic schedules, and so now we're settling in and looking forward to the spring, right, Dirk?
Absolutely. We're heading out on this weekend, going down the beach for 4 months to Orange Beach, down in Alabama.
Oh, beautiful. 4 months, you said?
1 month. 1 month.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, the high temperatures are in the 60, 65. And nice. So
yeah, today got chilly. I mean, it's not on the. I was looking at the weather for New York, and this morning wasn't too bad when I left the house, but now it's like 34 degrees, which for January in New York City is not too terrible. I'll take it over. What a couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were way down.
You should do what my son did 3 weeks ago. They packed up and went down to Guayaquil for 2 months.
Beautiful.
Ecuador, and that's.
I wish I could do that.
80.
I wish I could. I can't get away for that long. I got to. I have work responsibilities, my friend. Is your son able to work remotely? I can't work remotely in my job.
Same as Thomas Henry. I mean, he works remotely. That's why he lives on ships.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to be able to work remotely, but unfortunately, I cannot. I have to be physically there. Hey, Dirk, we got all our regulars here, and I want to just go down and say hello to everybody. First, and I said it already, but I'm going to say it again. Happy New Year. I can't believe it's 2020, folks. It's hard to believe. By this time, though, when I was a kid, I would be dreaming. I thought for sure they'd be flying cars, and maybe flying cruise ships. But I guess that dream didn't. I guess that didn't come true, right, Dirk?
Yep.
2020, unbelievable.
One thing about 2020, they say, if you write checks or any document, don't abbreviate and just put 20, because what people do, they can put 19 behind it or 18. So when you write out the year, you should always write 2020.
Yeah, that's the big news. 20. That's the big news, right? This past couple of weeks, I saw that on social media. So what Dirk is saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you're writing a check, do it. Use the 4-digit year, because the concern is that people can backdate your check without your knowledge. So that's the tip of the month, the tip of the new decade, I guess, is to make sure you put that 4-digit year in. And we got lots of regulars here, and I have to send a shout out to all our amazing regulars, and that includes Tom, Andrew, Nancy, Lisa, Andrea, Mark Sr. We have Mark Sr. We have Mark from New Jersey. I got to distinguish those two. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you all had a happy New Year. And today, folks, we're starting out. I think we're going to talk about the star. I saw that Tom Henry spoke talk about the Spirit. Sorry, Tom. I thought you said the star. But the Spirit is right here. It looks like it. It looks like the Spirit's
Ron
in dry
from Texas. Howdy, Ron from Texas.
Oh, Ron. What's up, Ron? Yeah, Ron from Texas is here. Yeah, it looks like it's in dry dock, Tom.
Hey, Ron, are you still
Spirit.
dreaming about? Hey, Ron, are you still dreaming about Memphis barbecue?
He's happy with his Texas barbecue.
All beef.
Oh, we got Marcus here. Hey, we got Ron from Texas and Marcus from Texas too. What's up, Mark? And I think Mark we're going to be calling later. Mark
here's
is going to be
Karen.
a special guest tonight. So what's up, Mark? I hope you're doing well. And
Yes, Karen.
Karen, hey Karen, what's going on? So we are going to talk today about a conspiracy theories, cruise ship conspiracy theories. Would you categorize it as a conspiracy theory, Dirk, or not? The Norwegian Star. I'm sorry, I always confuse this too. The Norwegian Star News. There's like rumors on the internet. Maybe it's more than a rumor that it has engine trouble, and it has been skipping ports, and that Norwegian is hiding these engine problems from
And
the
it had a-
public.
And it had an accident on the. They had an accident with one of their lifeboats, and they arrested the. That's not the driver.
Oh my God! Craziness!
Just weird stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it now, and before we get into the conspiracy, the cruise ship conspiracy, folks, I just want you to know that it is right now the Star is right off of South America, particularly Argentina, and it is moving pretty quick at 20 knots. It doesn't look like 19.8 knots, and which is a pretty good speed for a cruise ship. And it doesn't appear to have any engine troubles, at least by the day that I'm looking at. But we had somebody bring us to our attention, folks, that someone posted on Cruise Critic this large story, and I want you to look at this, folks, because this is look at how much this person posted on Cruise Critic, a book basically, and this is all about the rumor. The alleged issues on the Norwegian Star. And I'm just going to go, Dirk, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just wanted to demonstrate.
That's more than going to church.
That's a lot of information, ladies and gentlemen. But just
Can you
think,
just
somebody
say
had
amen?
to sit down. Someone had to sit down and write all of this stuff and come up and not only write it. I went through it in some level of detail. I have to say, I read this the other day, and I didn't find a typo. I didn't find a misspelled word. I didn't find a missing punctuation mark. So whoever wrote this, it is spent a lot of time on it. Oh, somebody's saying that it's actually this is a fact, that it's a fact that one of the 4 Rangers out of commission. Oh, okay, all right, Tom. Tom is saying there is.
I thought he had 2 engines.
Tom is saying it is a fact. So all right, so let's say if it is a fact, maybe it was one of the engines that help it steer. I don't know, but we're gonna look into it. We're gonna look at some of the information. So I just want to go into this. The reason why I want to go into this is just to point out, Dirk, the changes in society that happen with the internet. I think there's been a significant societal shift. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Amin Show with Chuck and Dirk. We do this every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we talk about cruise news, cruise industry news, Norwegian Cruise Line, and other things that happen. And so welcome to the show. And just as a reminder, Dirk and I are administrators for the Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes members page. So here we go, folks. So I want to read just a few things. So this is by someone, I deleted their name for privacy. And the title of the post, and it wasn't posted on our page, folks. It was posted on an outside, very popular cruise forum. And this says, we had a very distressing sequence of events on board the Norwegian Star. And we want to make sure that other passengers are aware of the heavy-handed methods used by the senior staff of the Norwegian Star to prevent passengers becoming aware of the extent of what we believe are ongoing technical issues with the ship. Prior to boarding the Norwegian Star, we received notification of scheduling changes, which resulted in a loss of onshore time in several ports. We were disappointed about this because we cruise to visit the ports, and odd-born time is not something we value greatly. We were, of course, very worried because we had read the press reports of the ongoing technical problems of the ship, excuse me, ongoing technical problems this ship has been experiencing for an extended period, and we were concerned that our ship might not be fit for the purpose of carrying out the itinerary sold to us. So once again, folks, they're talking about the Norwegian Star, and they booked it on the Norwegian Star, and they were concerned because they heard rumors of technical issues. So everything seemed fine until we rose early on the morning we were due to visit Cape Horn. It was immediately clear from the navigation screen on board that the ship was not en route to Cape Horn. When we were informed over the public address system by the captain later that the visit had been canceled, he put his decision down to 8-meter high waves and strong winds. We were surprised about this, but accepted the information in good faith. However, we began to wonder whether the prior technical deficiencies with the ship had played a role in the captain's decision. Perhaps he needed to employ additional safety reserves as the ship was not fit for the planned itinerary? ? So now we're getting in a lot of detail about this person, and you can see it's very well written, so whoever this person is really took a lot of time and effort to document the timeline and what the concerns were and the issues surrounding it. You with me, Dirk?
Yeah,
you still with me?
He got a lot of time on his hand. He must work in the medical field.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to read this. I feel like I need to take a deep breath.
It sounds like my doctor writing a report.
So,
one thing I think we got to make clear, as far as engines are concerned, there are only 2 props, and the props are powered by the engines. So, see, a lot of people think when you see 4 engines, they think there are 4 props. There are only 2 props, or azipods.
Gotcha.
Azipod is a it's kind of a deal that has a propeller and that can be moved, and it's so it can move left, right, etc., versus a straight propeller that can't be moved. That's why I said that that ship that had that accident up in Cozumel had a straight propeller that it might have helped if it had an azipod instead of a straight propeller.
Gotcha. Yeah, azipods rotate to steer the ship, correct? Am I right about that?
Do what?
The azipods rotate for directional to direct the ship, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like your steering wheel control your front tires, your front wheels.
Gotcha.
You know, left, right.
Understood.
Straight. It's probably pretty much the easiest way to understand for us non-skippers, that the azipod works pretty much like a steering wheel for the tires in your car.
I gotcha. Lorraine is here. Hi, Lorraine from Philadelphia. Welcome to the Min Show. This is Chuck and Dirk. So I'm just taking a breather to say hello to everybody out there. I'm looking at the comments. Very, very, very. There's a couple of people that are commenting. One happy customer wrote this. Yeah, I see that. And Tom saying that this was actually, this was the person that initially made this complaint didn't type it herself, but it was dictated to guest services, and guest services had to send this to the corporate office in Miami, NCL corporate office in Miami, and someone had to type this out, that's pretty impressive if somebody took the time to do that, I guess.
I've never seen people in guest service having that much time. They don't even have have 2 minutes to talk.
They must have paid overtime for this one.
Guest services, yeah.
Or dictated. So Andrea raises a good point. Maybe they dictated into their phone. That's a good point, Andrea. So here we go. I'm gonna say a few more things, but I just want you to know that this just gets more and more bizarre as the story goes on. And I wish I would have highlighted some paragraphs to read, because I'm so tempted to read the whole thing, because as you go down, it becomes obvious that this person, first of all, is very upset about it, but she's on a mystery hunt. She wants to solve a mystery. It's like the strangest thing, where she's like wants to be a whistleblower. So here we go. I'm going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I'm not boring everybody. I promise we'll get through this quickly, and then we'll get on to the to the call with my good friend Mark from Texas. He's going to have a nice conversation, hopefully, if he answers his phone. Right, Mark? Make sure you answer your phone, man. I'm calling you for just a few minutes. Hang in there, man. So things became more suspicious when we were due to leave Port Stanley the following day. We were delayed for several hours at approximately 8:30 p.m. with an update at 10 p.m. The captain informed via the PA system about the delay. So 10 p.m. The captain announces there's a delay. We were informed that the ship was experiencing technical difficulties, and this may result in us missing our next port, Puerto Madryn. Immediately after his second announcement, we were informed that our port charges would be refunded. Okay, so that's it. So I thought that was strange. So they canceled the port at 10 p.m. shortly after they announced that the port charges would be refunded. I thought that was strange because why would they be refunding our port charges when we still had plenty of time to make the next port? It was almost as if they need to refund port taxes had been a previously considered possible or even likely outcome by NCL. So let me repeat that. So what she's saying is that the quick announcement about the port refunds was basically premeditated by NCL. They had already known it, and they just announced it immediately after. Eventually, we left port shortly after 1 a.m. Again, here it goes. Here it goes. The situation escalated when we came across the captain by chance the following day. So I've never come across the captain. Have you ever seen the captain? Maybe at a public forum. Maybe at a public forum.
Then she said their husband is an engineer.
Yeah.
And he talked to the captain. I mean, that.
Yeah, her husband's an engineer. Asked for more detail on the technical issues experienced in Port Stanley. To our surprise, the captain was very evasive, became extremely aggressive, and started yelling at us, "Who is the captain of this ship?" As we calmly continued to press him about when it was decided that we would not be able to visit Puerto Madryn, he informed us that he had only made the final decision not to visit Puerto Madryn at 2 a.m. shortly after departing Stanley. However, we were aware that this could not possibly be true because we had been refunded our port charges prior to the departure from Port Stanley. Side note, in a subsequent meeting, the ship's hotel manager informed us that the captain had informed him about his decision in the evening already. So this lady is on a mission. She's on a mission of discreditation, right? Would you say that's true?
Yeah, absolutely.
So she's on a mission to publicly shame Norwegian Cruise Line for whatever reason, whatever her motivations are. I don't know, but this is what she does.
Have a bottom line. She got to have a bottom line.
Right. So what's everybody's? When somebody sits there and dictates this, what are they looking for? What's the? So they're blowing the whistle, right? They post this stuff, whatever the case is. You know, her title of her post is "What are you trying to hide, NCL?" And she writes a huge book about her experience on the Star.
You know what I think had really happened, Charles? I think that the bartender cut her off, and she really got upset.
That might be true.
Said we had too much to drink,
no
more drinks. And then she really got upset. And, you know, then they knocked on the door of the captain's cabin, and the captain answered and asked him in. And they had another drink with the captain in his cabin.
And the captain's wearing his bathrobe because he was off duty.
Yep.
So then she goes, she does the math.
Then she was really upset because the bathrobe the captain was wearing was the better bathrobe that's in
the Haven.
That's in the cabins.
So here she goes. She does the math, Dirk. Let's do the math. At 21 knots, the ship would have needed 30.3 hours for the 636 nautical mile journey to Puerto Madryn, in parentheses, distance published by NCL. Add a bit of mooring time, and we would have only been there at approximately 8 a.m. on January 1st. The arrival time of 2 p.m. corresponds to a speed of 17 knots only! Exclamation point. At this stage, we became seriously concerned that the ship was not capable of carrying out the itinerary sold to us and filed a complaint. We spoke to the hotel director about our concerns that the company was not being fully transparent.
I think Ron is right. Dollars are her mission.
Dollars are her mission, right.
I think more than that.
But even that, it's like the person that goes to a restaurant and they have an okay experience and they destroy the restaurant. They go to Yelp and they destroy the restaurant. Like, what is that person trying to prove? Like, what? I don't get it. Anyway, this person is obviously very upset. So she's seriously concerned. She's putting all these puzzle pieces together. They're talking to crew members. They're talking to the hotel director. They're talking to senior officers. And then she says, upon reconvening, the head of security. So in further cordial meeting, so I skipped down a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. In a further cordial meeting, we pressed the hotel director. So now they're going around. What are they doing? We pressed the hotel director to provide passengers with further clarity on the ongoing technical issues, as we felt passengers deserve transparency. Why? 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 In any business, there are issues that happen, and of course, the mission of the business is to minimize the damage. And this person's on a mission of transparency. Why? He noted that the issue had now gone beyond his authority and told us he would call the staff captain to talk to us. So now they're pressing the hotel director. He says they're going to call the staff captain. We were hopeful that we would finally have the transparency we had asked for ourselves and our fellow passengers. This was written. This is somebody writing this. However, instead of the staff captain walking through the door, the head of security appeared.
Finally.
And thankfully, get rid of these people. They're harassing the staff. And we were asked to brief him of our concerns, which he did. There was a break in the meeting for a private discussion between the captain, NCL, and security. So I guess the security was acting as kind of a liaison between this couple and the captain. Upon reconvening, the head of security then proceeded to intimidate us and threatened, on behalf of the captain, to remove us from the ship if we continue to pursue this matter whilst aboard. This response was disproportionate and unjustified. At this point, I became extremely concerned for my personal safety and the safety of my family members on board. I had no idea, there's a typo, what the aggressive man might do to me. I decided it was not worth risking my safety and therefore did not pursue the issue further whilst on board. I remain frightened for the remainder of the cruise, as family members, including my 12-year-old son, was subject to enhanced security procedures during onboarding and offboarding. So now she goes on to say that she's that she's going to pursue the further issue further with NCL. So what's the issue?
No, she got a refund for her cruise. She got extra money for harassment, got an extra free cruise for the future, and a monetary. Oh man, she did all right.
Did she get all that stuff?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, well, that's what she's looking for, right? That's what she's looking for.
I'm sure.
So why are you doing this? You have first of all, she mentions that she has a child, and I guess I would be concerned if I had my child with me. But you know what? If I had my child with me, I wouldn't be running around talking to people about why the ship was delayed and trying to put puzzle pieces together. I would just say, well, it happens, right? And it's over. But now we have the internet, and we have an outlet for crazy people to write about their experiences, one-sided experiences, because we don't know the cruise line side of this. You know, she's running around. I mean, she admits it herself. She's running around talking to people, trying to. I mean, who knows how she was approaching these staff members? But I could imagine after the third or fourth time of him and her asking about what's going on with the ship, that they would be upset and be like, all right already. I mean, their jobs are at stake. They don't know they're not equipped to answer these things. Would you agree, Dirk?
Yeah, absolutely. And the part I think is too is you don't sequester the captain to answer what's he doing with the ship. Give me a break.
Yeah, he's the captain, and you know what? Captains are notoriously not very good with passengers.
And we had a good one.
Like, there's a reason why they keep them out of there, right? I mean, they make the announcements, you know.
Yeah, we had a great one. We had a great one back in November when we were out of New Orleans. Every morning he was a history buff, so every morning he gave like a 5-10 minute rotation about the island, what the pirates did, and everything else. I mean, he was amazing, and I mean, like I said, he just liked to talk, but you don't find it very often. Normally they're very short, and they let the cruise director do the talking. But you don't summon the captain and question him about.
Yeah, who are they?
And and the hotel director has nothing to do with any technical aspect of the ship. He's a hotel director. He's in charge of culinary, etc., answering to the captain, and has no earthly idea, anything about the ship. And he wouldn't answer he wouldn't question the captain because he'd be a hotel director on a different ship.
I thought right, exactly. Exactly. These people, they're concerned about their jobs. They're, they know, everybody knows about social media now and the power of social media. They want to be in a post like this, and who knows is reading it. And of course, I don't think NCL will formally reply to this complaint.
Hey, Chuck, it's like in the military. You send a first lieutenant to question a 4-star general.
Yeah, what do you do? If I was the captain, I would say, I may react. Who knows how if I was approached inappropriately, I may have reacted like this captain. But I would say, look, you have to trust. We know what we're doing. We know we're making these decisions. There's no reason for you to be an investigative journalist about this. It's just the facts, and this is the way the contract works between the passengers and the cruise line. And unfortunately, sometimes ports are missed. And yes, there is a technical issue, and I apologize. I don't know what people like this are trying to achieve, other than
Thomas Henry, Thomas asked
getting money.
We had Captain Matthias. Yes, we did, Thomas. Super. I mean, he kept everybody informed. Every morning we listened for him, giving us a history lesson on the next port. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, and she goes on to say, like, the ship's master, and she says the ship's master's name, who has been in the press for questionable handling of passenger concerns on previous occasions.
I doubt that very much.
Yeah. In our view, should not be given the helms of cruise ship. Well, I guess they're entitled to their opinion. Who knows? We will see how much of his style and intransparency, so the opposite of transparency. We will see how much his style and intransparency was instigated by NCL's headquarters once our complaints will have been dealt with. This is what she writes. So I don't know what they're looking for.
She must think she's important.
Yeah, she must be very. Maybe she is. Who knows? Maybe she's the Queen of England, and we just don't know. So that's the Star, ladies and gentlemen. That's the complaint about the Star. What do you think, Dirk? Is it a valid? Should I post a poll and see if it's a valid complaint and not a valid complaint?
I would just drop it because it's so outlandish and ridiculous.
All right, we'll drop
people like that, with people like that, I think it's better to ignore them because the more
oh my God,
the more important they think they are. It's.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a rough one to get through, but that was somebody brought that to my attention. I read it and I'm like, this is the rantings of someone who has lots of times on their hand and is incapable of enjoying vacation. They're going on a mission to smudge NCL in the public and find out the answers to questions that maybe are not exactly their business, but. That's that. And we got a bunch of our regular folks here, Dirk. So that's the end of that story, Dirk. And the Star is moving along. Like I said earlier, I saw it, and it's I don't know, it's going 20 knots.
That's
19.8
knots.
Top
speed, isn't it? What's 22 top speed?
22. Yeah, some of the other bigger ships. I think when I was on the Encore, I think 22 to 25 knots. Here's one. Well, here's an example. Here's the Sky. This guy's going 8 knots. I guess it's making its way.
Full speed, unless they do
breakaway.
Sea trial.
14 knots. So far, this is going the fastest out of all. Here's one heading down. The getaway's got to be motoring. 19.6 knots. I think maybe. So there's no question there's technical issues on the Star. Although I was skeptical until I saw Tom's post. And Tom is a big fan of cruise ships. He knows what he's talking about. He lives and breathes this stuff. And he's saying there is confirmed issues. And I tried looking at it, and I found an article before. I just said that we were going to stop. We're going to stop talking about it. I'm still talking about it. So I found an article from November 4th, 2019, that the Star did suffer some propulsion problems, and that there's rumors that that those propulsion problems were going to last until March. Maybe it's a directional issue it's suffering. They can't maybe they could maybe one of their props that helps them steer the ship is down, and it's having issues. But anyway, the Star is motoring, folks. I don't know if you're on the ship. I guess there is some cause of concern with the Star. Hopefully, you'll know in advance if there's any itinerary changes from the Star due to their issues.
It's going in dry dock, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I think in March, isn't it? Through March. Still 3 months away. No. Does anybody know if the Star's going to dry dock? Just in the chat, maybe you could let us know. I thought it was going in March. But I missed a bunch of comments, and I just want to say hello, everybody. We got some regulars here that we haven't said hello to yet. So, Rogelio, what's up, man? I saw you say hello. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year, everybody. And anybody else? Denise, what's up, Denise? Captain on the Pearl in November was always visible. He even ate breakfast at the Great Outdoors every morning. Wow, I never saw that before either. Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever really seen, other than like public forums, I don't think I've ever really seen a captain that much.
The captain, I told you, the captain, we had Captain Matthias. He had breakfast in the Haven every morning.
Oh, really?
Yep. I mean, early when they just before they opened, and by the time people came on, he was gone. But yeah.
Yeah, I never really interacted with the captain. The hotel director I did. I always had.
Oh, he was by himself. I mean, he didn't interact. I mean, he said good morning, but people left him alone. I mean, you don't want to stop somebody you don't know. You don't want to stop while he's having breakfast and bother him. So he was sitting in the corner doing his own business, and people left him alone, and he wasn't there long because he got there early and he was gone. But yeah,
that's
like
nice.
I said, and like Tom said, he really is amazing. His knowledge is amazing.
I was always impressed with people who chose to do that for a living, become a captain of a ship. That's an incredible achievement, amazing skill, actually. And despite all the things that you see in the news with some of the mishaps, it really is incredible that they don't happen more often, considering all the variables that they have to weigh to make their way with that ship. Pretty impressive.
But look how long it takes them before they get the 4 stripes and the extra to be captain. I mean, it takes over 20 years.
That's incredible.
A lot longer.
Yeah.
A lot longer than an airline captain.
And they have these giant simulators. Have you ever seen like a captain training to steer a ship? They have this giant simulator where they're sitting at the helm and they have to make their way through the Panama Canal. It's actually pretty crazy. If you look, you can see the videos on YouTube, folks, of the captain's training. It's actually pretty impressive. So we got Rogelio, we got Andrew. Who else did I miss? I think that's it. Cindy, what's up, everybody? Yeah, everybody's saying she's looking for a free cruise. So if you're just tuning in, we just talked about a woman who had a lot of complaints about the Norwegian Star and her experience there. And yeah, I think everybody's correct that that they're looking for a free ride somewhere. And Mark is saying, Mark from Texas, Mark number 2 is from Texas. Her husband was she said her husband was an engineer. All engineers I know think they are smarter than most. So he may have disrespected the captain. But I think that's probably true, Mark. So Dirk, I think we're going to try to bring Mark on. What do you think?
Let's go for it.
Glad to hear it, Rogelio. Glad to hear you doing well. Oh, Rogelio's taking the Bliss out of New York City. Have fun, Rogelio, man. You got to post some pictures and show us the goings-on over there on the Bliss when you leave New York City. So let me figure out how to get my pal Mark on. So Mark has been a good friend of mine for a long time. And he's never been on a cruise. And so he's thinking about going on a cruise. And if I can figure out how to get him on, he's going to come on in 1 second. I can't find this window, Dirk, where I have... Oh, here we go. Okay. I can't find the window where I had you... I had the call going. So, Mark, I'm calling you right now, man. You're going to get a call. Say hello. Love to hear you ask some questions to the group. So, Mark, I think, might be a little bit nervous because he's not used to talking to a lot of people at the same time. Mark, you there? What's up? I can't hear you, man.
So, Mark, I think, might be a little bit nervous. Oh, I'm not nervous.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay, Mark. Oh, you got to lower your computer because you won't be able to hear me
Yep.
in real time.
There we go. I got you.
What's going on, man? Welcome to the
What's going
show.
on? Hey, I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, a pleasure. And we're talking right now, Mark. I'm sure you heard. I saw you commenting, so you know you heard the story with that the person who had a bad experience was investigating a conspiracy theory on the Star. So you've never been cruising, and I hear you got some questions for the group.
Yeah, I do. I can also elaborate on this story here. If you really think about it, somebody, myself as a consumer, if I had that bad of an experience on there, I would not keep going around bugging everybody. I would just let them know after it was over with what happened.
What
You
in
know
the
what I mean?
world, right? I agree with that. I was like, this person is like going around to employees on the cruise ship trying to get to the bottom of something that really is none of their business. Well, the case could be made that it's none of their business, right? Wouldn't you agree with that?
Well, I mean, if it's affecting them enjoying their vacation, then that's one thing. But to me, it sounds like they had a predetermined agenda before they ever went on the cruise.
Yeah, they had concerns, and I just want to make sure, Dirk, can you hear us talking?
Yeah, I sure
Oh,
do.
okay, all right. I wanted to make sure you were there also. Okay, yeah, she had something going on, and she was making a case to get some money back because the public needs to know, Mark.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, especially if I'm
Our
fixing to go
fellow
on a
passengers
cruise,
need
you
to know.
I mean, this is definitely things I need to know if I'm going on a Norwegian cruise.
Oh, she was
You
she
know,
was she was acting on behalf on the whole ship, man. She was
right?
trying to get to
Well,
the bottom of that.
so I've got some questions here. I actually had my wife chime in. She actually texted me a few things, and we actually came up with some of the same questions, to be honest. But
All right, Mark.
she had
Before you get going, just I have to give you this notice. You're live on the air and being recorded. So that I'm sorry, I'm just required by law to tell you that. So
okay, no problem. Wouldn't be the first time.
go ahead.
uh, Actually to have the law recited to me. But anyway, the type of documentation needed to go on cruise, and I'm sure that's going to depend on where you're going. But most of these cruises, you're going to be going places that you need a passport. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, you haven't been in the. Yeah, Mark just joined the group, folks. Yes, Matt, you should have a passport if you're cruising on a cruise ship. That's absolutely
Okay.
true.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, are there any hidden fees that you have to watch out for that they try to sneak in on you?
I don't say there are fees they definitely put on your bill, but I wouldn't say they were hidden. What do you think? What do you think, Dirk? Would you say they're hidden? And group, feel free to chime in the
Are
chat
they any
about it.
hidden? Are they any
Hidden fees. They tell you up front they're going to charge you like these on NCL particularly. I'm not talking about all cruise lines, but they build in the gratuity, and there's a per day charge per passenger, and either you could pay it as you go on the ship, or you could pay it up front, or you could choose at the end of the cruise to remove all those charges completely.
Okay.
Yeah, and just tip the people that you'd like to tip in cash. Most people just keep them on, I'd say, but there is a long line the last day.
But I think so, Charles. What a lot of people don't understand, that is not a tip. That's service charge, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have to tip it because they already get part of it." That is a service charge, and the largest part of that service charge goes toward their retirement plans, their crew retirement plans.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And social items, and the sharing of whatever's left over for tips, etc., is not proportionally given to crew. It's proportionally given by their supervisor, etc., by their work performance. So it doesn't mean that if you had $100 and you got 10 people, that everybody gets $10. Maybe one gets 20, one gets 15. It's like I said, it's coupled with work performance. So it's not an automatic that they get a percentage of that. And if they do, the percentage can vary depending on work performance. And like I said, the largest part is to finance their social programs and retirements.
Oh, that's
So
good.
people don't
I didn't know
realize
that.
it. It's not a tip.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially a lot of seasoned cruisers, Mark, they really just keep that tip. I like to say well, not a tip. What do you call a service charge? They keep it on
It's
and
a
they
service
pay
charge,
it.
correct.
Yeah, because cruises in general, Mark, are actually pretty reasonable. If you go on a cruise vacation and you're able to drive to that port, and all you have to do is park your car, you can go on a really great trip for relatively inexpensive. You know, when you go on a cruise ship, Mark, all food and everything is included. You could choose to like upgrade your food package and go to like what they call specialty restaurants, but the vast majority, you're never going to go short of food on a cruise ship, whether you go to a specialty restaurant or not. So it's very reasonable to begin with. And if you've never been on a cruise, most of the crew are just extraordinary people who are like highly trained, who probably have, I mean, they work very long hours. And they have, when they're not, they have long periods of time off, but when they're on the ship, they are working, and they manage to keep a smile on their face through thick and thin. It's very, very impressive. Coming from someone who's worked in the service industry, it's not easy to achieve that.
Well, they keep a smile on their face unless you're the captain from the Star. Is that correct?
That's right. No, then security is sicked on them.
So, I mean, that kind of covers one of my next questions was about gratuity and stuff. So that y'all actually covered that.
Oh, you know what? They do add, if you don't have the drink package, they do add gratuity. If you don't have the drink package, they add a gratuity to your bill. If you have the drink package, you'll get better service if you tip. And Dirk has a great tipping method.
Oh yeah, I've got
he has a very cool way, and he's recommended to the group. But Dirk, we have a lot of new listeners. I don't know if you want to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
How you do?
I'd make it quick. Prior to the cruise, I get brand new $2 bills from my bank, and normally I have to give them a few days in advance so they can get them if they don't have them. And what I start doing, giving the waiters or the bartenders, etc., $2 tips. And it's amazing because a lot of them have never seen them, and the more experienced have, and to them we call it lucky money. So they love those brand spanking new $2
bills. Yeah, I thought that's a great thing.
And I always tell them because they still smell. You can still smell the whatever they use to print those things. The colors. Cash
money.
And I always tell them. I said, be careful. They're still wet. So it doesn't come off, and a lot of people kind of rush over to see if the color comes off because, like I said, a lot of them never seen a $2 bill. But I tell you, I've seen it then too. When I go in the bar, the guy say, "Get that guy first. He's the one with the $2 bills."
So he gets great service. That's true. If you do tip bartenders, you do get better service. And
because I feel, Charles, that 1 is not enough and 5 is too much.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a nice compromise.
$2 bills do wonders.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's like a really great compromise. $2 bills are good. And some people are saying, Mark, there's an upcharge for some of the like exercise classes. Kathy's saying for exercise classes sometimes they charge. And I know on the newer ship, Marks, some of the high-end experiences like on the Encore, Encore has go-karts. They have like this virtual reality, almost like an arcade. And that is it's called the Galaxy Pavilion. There's an upcharge for that. So it depends on what you want to do, but there's plenty to do without an upcharge if you choose to not spend money on the cruise once you're on the ship. What's that?
Questions that doesn't have to do with money, but let's just say I'm going to take a family of 4, 2 teenagers, wife, and myself on a week cruise. What am I looking at total that around about? What am I going to need to take out of my wallet and pay for this?
That's a good question.
Use your credit card.
It depends on the time of year. And it depends on what stateroom you choose. So there's different categories of rooms on any given ship. and each of the categories can be more expensive or less expensive. But I'm going to go with an inside stateroom. So you can get an inside stateroom. You could sleep 4 people in a very small inside stateroom with a bathroom, and you're probably going to want to kill each other by the end of the cruise. But you could fit in there.
Am I going to get a window in that?
No, there's no window. Inside stateroom, no window, 4 people. And if you like, you could leave, any major city that they sail out of. I would probably say $400 per person for a 7-day. It could be as inexpensive as that. So you could take a 7-day vacation for probably less than $3,000.
So is that gonna be counting my port fees and all that kind of stuff?
You prepay those.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you say that's right, Derek? Would you say that's about right?
Well,
let's see what the group is
it
saying.
Depends, especially if you got teenagers. They get into. Are they drinking age?
No.
Drinking age can be 18 out port.
No, 15 and 16.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But they got arcades. Where they can see the thing is you don't pay anything on board. You use your key card for charges, like your charge card. And
right.
The same thing when the kids go to the arcades to play, or the bowling alley if they have one, etc., etc. All they got to do is use your key card, so you don't have any control of what they spend. At the end, you get a big bill, and you pay with credit card, so you don't really, don't have to carry any money. You just make sure that you got enough balance on your credit card, and let your credit card owner know that you're leaving the country. Otherwise, they won't accept it.
Yeah, there's some nuance to it, Mark, and you could really. It's very reasonable because those prices include food,
right,
and then activities, and you can go on activities for most activities. Most activities run by the director of activities are there's no upcharge except bingo. Bingo you gotta pay for. You can go to trivia.
Expensive.
That's expensive. It can get expensive, yeah, but you could win. You have to pay for excursions, so yeah, you could. That's true too. Yeah, it's a gamble. I'm looking at some of the comments. People are saying don't remove the service charges. Shame on you if you remove the service charges. Personal training, you got to pay extra for. Amy's saying you got to pay extra for personal training. Oh, Rogelio follows your tip, Dirk. He does the $2 bills thing.
Hey, good.
Sacagawea coins. I never heard that. A stash of Sacagawea coins. Anybody know what that is? Rogelio, I don't know what that is. Have you ever heard of that? I haven't heard of it. Oh, Ron is saying you can bring a family of 4 inside stateroom, $3,000, Mark. You hear me? 7-day vacation.
Yep, got you there.
That's not bad.
I also there was a let's see here. Amy had said something that I caught on. Personal training is additional. From everything that I've heard, is you go on these cruises to eat and get fat, and you work out when you get home.
Yeah, there you go. You save some cash.
Why do I want to work out while I'm on the cruise?
Oh, you'd be amazed how many people are out there doing their, their brisk walking on the deck and running and stuff.
And don't use the elevators. You got 10 stories to climb your stairs.
Yeah, the stairs.
There you go.
Let me tell you, Mark. I went. I love eating. Everybody knows I'm not a giant guy, but I'm not. Look, I'm not skinny.
Hey, Chuck, I've got a fast metabolism too, brother. Don't worry.
I love to eat. And one time I went on a cruise, I felt so guilty. I was like, I gotta go walk on a treadmill for an hour. So I did it too. I went on the treadmill for an hour. I'm like, I felt so guilty. I had to do something. But you eat, man. If you're on a cruise, the food is absolutely great. I don't think I've ever been on a cruise where I was disappointed with the food. An NCL cruise where I was disappointed with the foods. It's 24/7, whatever you want. If you feel like having ice cream, almost 24/7, you can walk to the buffet and grab an ice cream anytime. Up until 11 o'clock at night. Plus. It's whatever you want. Pizza, hamburgers, hot dogs, like whatever you can. Fancy food if you go to one of the restaurants. Just really whatever you want at any time of day, you can go and get it. Somebody here saying they went on a balcony. You can get a balcony. She got 3 with 2 adults, 1 kid, Mark, with the 2 drink packages, paying the service charges, $3,200 for a balcony, which is actually very nice. Balcony rooms are nice.
Yeah, that's
Got a nice sliding door. You can go out on the balcony.
That wasn't the lady who got the free cruise from following the captain and all the chaperone, was it?
No, that was Tanya.
No,
Tanya.
I'm just
Tanya.
kidding.
Hello, Tanya. Tanya
they
said.
messed up. They messed up when.
Oh,
they
Sacagawea
messed up
coins
when
are.
she checked out her bill was Charles.
Yeah.
The one that wrote the big letter. They made a mistake on her bill when she checked out. It was $19,000.
Good for her.
Ugh.
Maybe that's why she's looking for a discount. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sacagawea coins. I was just clarified to me in the chat are gold-colored dollar coins. That's actually very cool. They replaced the Susan B. Anthony coins. That's a cool idea too, right? You
Yep.
get the Sacagawea coins and some $2 bills, and man, they'll be on you. They'll be giving you some great service. Amy's saying she walks every day. She walks every morning on a cruise. I get it for the sunrise in the morning. Okay, what's up, Mark? Sorry.
Yeah, I'd probably walk in the morning too on my way to
The buffet?
buffet, yeah.
I
right.
do that too. I got my exercise in. I walk to the buffet in the morning.
That's what I'll do. I'll get the room the furthest away from the buffet, and that way I'll get my exercise in.
That's the way to do it, man. That's a good method.
So on these excursions, my wife brought up a valid question, and I think your buddy answered that actually earlier. What's the cheapest or the most affordable way to pay for your excursions? And do you have to go on them, or can you stay on ship?
Oh, you could. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to go on any excursions.
We stay on board. I love port days. Everybody gets off. We stay on board. Got the whole ship for ourselves.
That's the secret, Mark. Like a lot of people, if they're in port, a lot of people want to go on excursions. They empty out of the ship. So either you can go and do sightseeing, if it's a place that you're particularly interested in seeing, or you can stay on the ship and enjoy the ship and have the ship all to yourself, really.
But I think one important thing to know is if you take a ship-sponsored excursion from the excursion desk, etc., and it's late coming back to the ship will wait. If you go and get a local tour yourself, which is not connected to the ship, they will not wait. The ship be gone, and you become a dock runner, and you miss your, miss your ship.
Mark, you can't be, they will leave you if you're late for the ship. If they say be back at 12, if you're not back, the ship is gone and you're stuck.
I think that personally, after talking about this, that I like the idea of staying on the ship while all the other Rugrats are off.
Right.
I did that.
Though,
It's very nice.
I mean, I'm sure that there is going to be some port somewhere, if I was to do this, that I would love to go see. So, but maybe not everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yep. The good thing is, so if you're a dock runner, you get applause for everybody that's on the balcony, so you become a celebrity.
Everybody watches. So, Mark, when you're in port and you're at a port with a dock, a lot of people watch if the ship is delayed. And they watch people running to the ship because they're running late or very close to the time.
Gosh.
And they cheer them or they'll scream at them. You got to look on YouTube. There's a lot of videos about it.
That would probably be me. That would probably be me.
No, you'd be the bane of the crew. People will remember you, too. And they'll be like, what's wrong with you, man? Why you come back late to the ship?
Yeah, forget that. So let me ask you this. I'm from Texas, obviously. I'm kind of a country boy. I like to fish and stuff like that. So I've been on boats before. I don't really get sick on small boats like bass boats and things like that. But I've never been on a huge ship like this, and I've been told that it's a little different. And
you don't know it's moving.
Yeah, you don't know unless you hit some seriously rough seas, Mark. If you're used to those boats, those type of boats, and you've been out like on the bay or on the ocean in a smaller boat, and you didn't get sick, you're not gonna get sick on a cruise ship. Very stable. It's a very stable thing.
Okay.
Well,
There have been
stabilizes
times, a couple of times when I was, and they, yeah, Dirk is. I'm sorry, Dirk. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Dirk.
That's all right. It was stabilizers too. So, but once you get 40, 50 feet waves, you will feel it.
Yeah, you're gonna feel it when you get in some
Or
heavy
don't do
seas.
the North Atlantic in the winter.
Yeah, if you're going like from Galveston, Mark, and you're sailing through the Gulf of Mexico, and I think you'll be okay, unless it's a hurricane, which of course the ship would not go through. But you should be pretty comfortable going through the Gulf of Mexico down to the islands.
So 3 more questions for you guys, and then I'm good, and I'll get out of your hair. How many different types of clothes should I pack?
Oh my God, you're asking all the key questions, man. These are all the questions we get in the group. It's very funny. It's very funny. But hold on, before we answer that question, Ron is saying he recommends at least one excursion for the trip, and I would happen to agree with him. He's saying you can go 3,000 for the cruise with the family of 4, and Ron's on top of this, Dirk.
Oh yeah.
Mark, he knows the prices, and he said you probably spend another 1,000 in addition to that. So you figure 4,000 for a family of 4 for a nice 7-day cruise vacation that includes everything A to Z.
Our last bill was $29.50.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You took off the service charge?
I prepay. No,
There you go. I thought I
Yeah.
got you. I thought I had him. I thought I had him.
Yeah. He took off the service charge and paid him in fresh $3 bills.
He almost admitted to it. We know what you're about, Dirk.
I prepay my service charges. That's another thing. Is prepay everything you can. Seriously,
yeah.
it's worth it. So prepay everything. That way you don't have to worry about it on your bill. And I mean, you pay one way or the other, but I like to prepay it, get it out the way, and then don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice thing too. I agree
Now,
with Dirk. But you mentioned clothes, Mark. It's all about what you want. The good thing about Norwegian Cruise Line is that you could either go shorts and t-shirts, and depending on where you eat, that's acceptable. A lot of people in the main dining rooms, they wear nice, smart casual for dinner, which is a pair of nice dark jeans, some decent shoes, and a collared shirt for dinner. You don't have to. You could eat in the buffet and go in your shorts and shirt if you want to.
They only bought 3 restaurants where you're required to wear long pants.
Yeah, you could wear shorts and a collared shirt. I mean, that's like reasonable. I wouldn't.
I think the bistro and Ocean Blue and one of the main dining rooms, I think they require long, and Cagney's too, I believe. So.
Yeah,
But,
it's nice to bring a pair of jeans. Bring a pair of jeans, a couple of collared shirts. Some people like to wear formal, like they'll wear a suit or a sport jacket, Mark, one night so you can take pictures because there's photographers everywhere. Or if you just want to pose with your family, it's nice to do that.
Well, I take a tuxedo, but my butler normally kind of irons it, so I don't have a problem with that. I tip him accordingly, of course. And he also, the cruise news you get every day, it's folded. He actually irons mine.
He
so
irons
you
yours.
can't see the
Freestyle
fold.
daily. So Mark,
So you cannot see the fold. Amazing.
So Mark, every day when you're on a cruise ship, you get what's called the Freestyle Daily, and it gives you all the what's happening, gives you the weather, it gives you the if a destination, it gives you and it has like all the hours of the day from I don't know, I guess 7 o'clock in the morning, right, or 6 o'clock in the morning, from sunrise basically to midnight, and it has a schedule of activities and events that are happening during the day. So it's actually very nice. And Dirk is saying his butler irons that booklet for him, so there's no creases in it.
But he gets tipped well too.
Yeah.
As far as tipping is concerned, it depends too. I mean, if you have a concierge that does a lot of course, the butler that's there for you all the time, you got to tip them extra because they are not part of the
Service charge.
pool. So it depends. The more they do, the more you give them. I always tip them $100 up front, and you'd be surprised.
That's nice.
Right, so you kind of brown nose right off the bat, and you get taken
That's
care
I
of.
don't call
right?
it brown nose. I call it being smart.
Yeah.
But
Well,
in Texas,
yeah.
you call it brown nose.
Yeah, but yes, it is definitely a good. I
But
can
then,
see where that
then
would
too,
set you up.
In Texas, you guys don't have a football team, so you're for
No, we have a football team. We don't have a football coach.
you got an owner. That's good enough. He does everything.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Mark, Amy's saying she gets sick on ferries and she's never been sick on a cruise, and she's giving you a tip: stay to the middle high floor. So there's a theory if you stay in the middle of the ship, you're less prone to getting sick. Somebody's echoing.
Let me throw in one thing. Margaret always gets, my wife, she always is worried about getting seasick. So on the first cruise we took, she got one of those things you put behind your ear, one of those medical patches, and she got sicker than a dog in using the patch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it really.
Yeah, so it's all a mental game, I think, with seasickness. Yeah. It's all like a frame of mind. You gotta be, you got to be positive. It's all about succumbing to the I don't know. For me, anyway, it's like you resign yourself to getting sick sometimes mentally. So I try to be very strong psychologically, and it tends to work.
Or you after you have 5 martinis, Charles.
Yeah, that could weigh on the. Oh my God. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And that may be the only part that I'm really worried about is the drinking and being on it, because I've been on ferries before, actually in Galveston. And it wasn't that bad. It's really.
You know what it is,
bad.
Mark? You know the good thing, if you drink enough, you don't remember. You won't remember if you got sick.
That's right.
Hey, Charles.
True. That's
Charles,
true.
the video you show now, what ship is that?
This is the Dawn.
Okay.
This is the Norwegian Dawn ship tour. Yeah, I like this
Oh,
video. I like this video because.
Rain.
Yeah, I like this video because it's kind of a nice time. It looks like it's early in the morning. The sun's just coming up, and the decks are all clean, and it's a nice video. I should probably give credit to the person. I didn't create this video. I should probably give credit to the person who did. Brian and Chell's Travel. I think they really did a good job with this one on YouTube. Brian and Chell's Travel. So if you're interested, just look them up. I'm going to give them a little bit of a plug because I enjoy this video. What's up, Mark? What's the next question? Mark, we're almost at the end of our stream, man. It's 9 o'clock. Any more questions?
So, first off, I think tipping your butler in the beginning is actually an excellent idea, because I could see where that could set you up for great service. So I totally agree with that. 2 questions left, and I'll give them to you both so maybe we can get them both answered at the same time. When is the best time of the year to take a cruise? And what are my chances of getting bored on the cruise?
The best time of year, like I said, you're lucky because you kind of live in the South and the weather is reasonable and you have access. So if you want to go,
what Charles? Excuse me.
Go ahead.
What part? I mean, you cruise worldwide, so what would you plan to cruise to? That would make a difference.
What would be your destination, Mark? You want to go to the Caribbean, Alaska, Hawaii? Where would you want to go? And the group will tell you where a good good time of year.
I'm a skinny white boy, so I don't want to go to Alaska. I don't know. You know, Caribbean is kind of interesting to me.
So I would go in the winter because you probably get a good deal. And if you don't have to, and if you don't take a week, if you have a week where there's school in session, you'll get a really good deal.
Okay.
And South America too, because it's when we have winter, it's summer there.
Yeah,
right.
South America.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Nice.
So what are my chances on getting bored? Am I going to stay busy this whole week?
Are you bringing your wife? Are you bringing your wife?
Is that a trick question?
No.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, in that case, you won't get bored.
No,
Okay.
you'll be fine. There's so many activities. There's so many activities.
No, she's pretty competitive and outgoing, so I know we would probably keep ourselves busy.
There's so much.
I mean, with all the restaurants, with all the bars, with the casino,
and the activities.
Oh my goodness
yeah,
gracious!
You're not gonna get bored.
It take you 2 days just to explore the whole ship with all the nooks and crannies. I've been on the ship the second time, and I found stuff I didn't see the first time I was on there 7 days. So
Yeah, Mark, the ships are so
you don't
big.
get bored.
You explore the ship. It's you find new stuff all the time. It'll take you a couple of days just to get to know where you're going on the ship.
Oh yeah, I'll probably get lost.
Yeah. Initially, then you'll learn the way. It's a lot of fun. I love ships since I was a kid.
And by the way, what you need to tell them too is their elevator banks. They go up and down. There's no elevator that goes from the back of the ship to the front of the ship.
Well, there's your exercise, right?
Unless you use the crew quarter, which is the I-95.
So
they go from one end to the ship to the other side of the ship. It's called the I-95. It's a big passageway.
Yeah, the crew travels through.
That goes through the whole ship.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Nothing to do, and guys, it has nothing to do with interstate. It has everything to do, since there are 30, 40, 50 different nationalities. The I-95 is a
international.
It's a form you have to fill out as a foreigner, like a visa form, etc., etc. That's what it's called for I-95, because so many nationalities traveling back and forth on it. So it's not to be mistaken with the I-95 interstate that goes through Miami.
So yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, it's actually very impressive how people get from one side of the ship to the other. Mark, you should go. You're gonna enjoy it. And welcome to the group, by the way. And I appreciate you taking the time to call in. It was a lot of fun talking to you. You have a great sense of humor. Maybe you'll check in once in a while with us and say hello.
Oh,
you can compare Texas barbecue notes with our friend Ron, who's out there. We got another guy from Texas that's a regular.
The first time is free?
Yeah, the first show is free, and then you pay us $20 every time after that.
Great. So, in other words, it was nice knowing you, Truck.
That is not a tip. That's not a tip. That's a service charge.
That's a service charge.
Right. Well, if it's $20, it's definitely not a tip, because it's not a $2 bill, is it?
We have a little bit of a surcharge too.
A little bit of a surcharge. Okay. I appreciate you having me on, Chuck.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
I've been of yours for a long time. I think this is a good thing you're doing here, and helping these folks understand these cruises, because I definitely don't understand them. I'm totally lost when it comes to a cruise ship. Now you come down here from New York and jump in a bass boat with me, and I can show you some stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I'm down. I was just talking to Dirk about making a trip to him and to Texarkana to say hello to you. So maybe this spring I'll be doing that.
You know what was a rough awakening for me when I traveled through Little Rock, and then the next city was Texarkana. Was a little bit of a letdown, but at least we had enough cars sailed ship on both sides, and then we knew we were going to go to Dallas, so it was okay.
Hey, there's nothing to do in Texarkana, and that's why I like living in Texarkana, because it doesn't attract too many people.
The highlight was the Holiday Inn we stopped for lunch.
I've never been. I want to see the country, so I would like to see some land I've been at sea for a long time. I like to see some land, so that'd be nice.
Definitely come down, brother.
Nice try.
Definitely come down. Dirk, it was nice meeting you, brother. Hopefully I'll talk to you guys again. Maybe we'll all get together sometime and go out and eat.
Sounds good, Mark.
Yeah, come down.
Texas barbecue,
come down
man.
To Memphis, Mark, and come down to Memphis, Mark, and get some big catfish.
Some big catfish. All right, I sure will. Some of that blackened catfish.
And get some great barbecue, better than Texas. I'm talking about pork.
He's talking smack. Talking smack.
No.
All right, we're gonna end the show, Mark. Thanks for calling in, man. Have a good one.
Brother.
I'll catch up with you in just
too.
a few minutes. And I just want to go through some of the comments, and then we're going to close it out, folks. Thanks for bearing with us, and thanks for joining us tonight. It's always a lot of fun for Dirk and I to interact with everyone and say hello once a week. And it's a special show. It's our first show in 2020. So I want to wish you all, a happy 2020. I'm just going to go through the comments real quick.
I'll tell you one other thing, Charles.
Go ahead, sir.
I'll tell you one other thing. My wife loves these because she uses it for her night out.
When we do our stream. Yeah. My family is inside patiently waiting for me. So we're gonna end the show. I just want to go through some of the comments. Tom is recommending a transatlantic because the to Mark because the price is a little bit lower. Thanks, Tom, for that tip. He's also saying we should train Mark on cruise next certificates. Mark, Tom. That's a whole nother show for Mark. It gets to be confusing sometimes, but yes, you're right. We should do a show just on cruise next. I tried to post a video once about right from NCL that outlined the basics of cruise next, but maybe we could do another show on that, Dirk. What do you think? Talk about cruise next one show. That's a whole half-hour show right there. There were some questions in the group about Cruise Next this past week if they were worth it. I highly recommend Cruise Next. It's a great proposition, and you should if you're on a cruise and plan on cruising again. I highly recommend looking into Cruise Next and purchasing as many as you can. Who else we got? Yeah, Kathy's saying you have to dress up in the bistro. Somebody's asking what ship this is. This is the Dawn for record. Sorry, I didn't see these until now.
Do you know that VIP access? Do you know what that is, Charles?
No.
Complimentary room service that's already offered, and complimentary room service as part of VIP package. You need to check that out. We have.
Oh, really?
I checked the VIP package out.
VIP. I never heard about the VIP package. Regarding the new VIP access, I think that's priority boarding. No.
Oh, that's not worth it.
I'm not sure. I can't remember that it's already. I don't know. Jennifer, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think you maybe. I'm not sure if that's an NCL thing. You have to look into that. But everybody, it was nice to see all of our regulars and some people that don't join us very often. So I'm so happy that we had the ship. And for those of you with upcoming cruises, have a wonderful trip. And as always, folks, Dirk and I do the show every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's always great to connect with our members. And we had some negativity in the forum. We're doing our best to get rid of that negativity, ladies and gentlemen. We're aware of what's happening. You could help us by flagging the post for review by Dirk and I, and we'll take care of some of those negative posts as appropriate. If they don't break the rules, we don't delete them.
Excuse me for interrupting you. VIP access is a priority boarding package.
That's the that's the priority boarding. Yeah, but what is the complimentary room service? If you buy it, you get complimentary room service. I think it's only $6 if you get room service anyway, right?
Well, you get breakfast for free if you get the Continental.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I don't think I've ever, maybe once I've been on a ship where I got room service. I never really get room service. It's always just so easy just to run up to the buffet. But that sounds like a good perk if you use room service and you want to get priority boarding. Get the VIP package. That's cool. And that's it, folks. So happy New Year, everyone. Had a lot of fun tonight. We went a little bit over because we were having so much fun. And I want to thank Mr. Mark from Texas for calling in. Thanks, Mark. It was a pleasure talking to you. And Dirk, as always, my good friend, I'll see you next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Mid Show, right here on the Norwegian Cruise Line Latitudes members page. All my best wishes for a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year to all of our members. I wish you all a wonderful year, a happy new year. And we'll see you next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, folks. I'm looking for my outro. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it now. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next Monday, 8 p.m. Have a good night.
Happy New Year and good night.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Are we off?
Almost.